Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear respected brothers, sisters, and young friends in Islam. Yesterday, here in St. Louis, Missouri, we went to the Salatul Janaza and the burial of a doctor by the name of Dr. Anver Tayob. Dr. Anver Tayob was a Mayman from South Africa and somebody who was highly respected in our community. I want to share a few personal interactions that I had with him, as well as a few things about him that were mentioned yesterday. As far as personal interactions go, whenever I would meet Dr. Anwar, he would always say King Ai Raja, which in Memni means how are you, O King. He would always show me love and respect, and every time I would come back during the summer breaks from the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Al-Madinatul Munawwara, he would always ask me how the city of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing and how my studies were, and he would always encourage me and tell me that I was doing the right thing in life. The other thing that I want to mention, which is more amazing, which him and his wife get the credit for, Fazila auntie, who's still alive, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this loss easy on her, is something that they would do for me every year since I was a little kid. Whenever I needed a mushaf, whenever I needed a Quran, and I memorized on a specific type of Quran, which is the 13-line script, which is printed in Johannesburg. It's the print that I love, and it's the print that I like, and it's the print that I still use to this day. They would always get me a copy from South Africa somehow in some way, and they would always deliver it. I have probably 7 or 8 copies that I've used, reviewed, memorized from, and as they got worn and torn over the years, they would always get me a new one. And so every single letter that I read, every single letter that I've memorized, every single time I reviewed till this day, they get their reward for it. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from them. And the other thing that I wanted to mention was something that was mentioned at his janazah yesterday by my khalu, Hanif uncle. He said that Anwar uncle was somebody that would always come to the masjid, and he loved the masjid. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said in a very beautiful hadith, Al-masajidu baytu kullu taqiyyin, that the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are the houses of the righteous people. قد ضمن الله عز وجل لمن كانت المساجد بيوتهم بالروح والراحة والجواز على الصراط, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has guaranteed for the one who makes the masjid their houses, meaning they take the masajid as their houses, Allah has guaranteed for them the ability to have peace as well as cross the bridge of Sirat with lightning speed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow him to cross the bridge of Sirat and to enter Jannatul Firdaus, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate the difficulties of the grave and allow him to answer the questions in the grave. Ameen. The other thing that I wanted to mention about him was something that every single night in this last Ramadan, he would try to come to the masjid and he would try to pray Salatul Taraweeh, and nothing stopped him from that. And another thing, which is the last thing that I'm going to mention, is that he would pass out these books and he would distribute these books called Tartib as-Salah, which I learned about yesterday. This book talks about the methodology of how to pray. This book has been passed down to converts, new Muslims, people returning to Islam, Sunday school students, and so on and so forth. And so all of this reward is in his bank account, mashallah, in the akhirah. And so why am I sharing all of this? It's because you and me need to take a lesson in our own book. When we see students of knowledge, we should encourage them. When it comes to the masajid, we should go to them. When it comes to disseminating knowledge, we should try our best. And that is the way that we will be successful on the Day of Judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive Dr. Anwar Tayob. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on him. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this difficult time easy for his family. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.